Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving into source material that unpacks a concept so incredibly intense, it actually frightens people when they see it in action. We're going to explore exactly how these texts break down a level of discipline that, honestly, can make someone look almost superhuman. So, let me ask you this. Have you ever known someone who just never seems to fail? You know exactly the type of person I'm talking about. They wake up at the exact same time every single day, they do the exact same things, and they just never, ever stop. While the rest of us are busy making excuses, they just keep showing up. And people look at them and think, man, there is no way that's normal. But let's be real, for most of us, the reality looks a lot more like the dreaded 3-week drop-off, right? We start out super strong on a new goal, but by the third week, we're right back where we started. It's a completely universal struggle, but the source material we're looking at today reveals an ancient, powerful system designed to literally obliterate this problem once and for all. Let's move right into Section 1, the myth of willpower. Let's look at a highly successful programmer named Raphael. Now, Raphael was an incredibly smart guy, but he just couldn't stick to a single habit for more than 2 weeks. Going to the gym, done after 2 months. Meditation, barely a week. Reading, 3 pages in, and the book goes straight into a drawer. His weekly failure cycle is honestly painfully relatable. Monday brings total, unbreakable motivation. But then Wednesday rolls around and the first mental negotiation begins. By Friday, it's complete surrender. And Sunday is just spent making empty promises for the following week. You know, Raphael tried the habit trackers, the accountability partners, the rewards, and absolutely nothing worked. Because relying on pure willpower is a complete myth. He was essentially fighting the very architecture of his own brain. That brings us to Section 2, Gaji, and irreversible commitments. To finally break his cycle, Raphael had to look entirely outside of modern self-help. He tapped into an ancient system created by Zen monks in Japan. They call this concept Goji. Literally translated, it means continuous practice without gaps. I want to really emphasize that, without gaps. This right here is the absolute secret to a practice that basically perpetuates itself. It's a rule that sounds incredibly simple, but it requires completely rewiring how you view your goals. To really put this into perspective, just think about the number 1200. Since the year 1200 AD, at the Ai Temple, a bell rings at 3:30 a.m. every single day. And since 1200 AD, every single day, the monks wake up. Not at 3:25, not at 3:35, exactly at 3:30 a.m. without a single day of hesitation. The thought of skipping simply doesn't even exist in their minds. What's really fascinating here is the stark difference between how those monks operate and how we operate. Our brains basically categorize commitments into 2 separate boxes. Reversible commitments are those private promises we make to ourselves, and they instantly turn into mental negotiations. But irreversible commitments, those are public declarations. When a monk takes his vows, he's not just making some private promise. He's shifting his entire identity in front of his community. Boom! The negotiation completely ends. And this ancient philosophy is perfectly anchored in modern science. A Harvard University neuroscientist points out that when you make a behavior public, your primitive brain interprets failure as a literal survival threat. Think about it. Our ancestors who lost status in the tribe, they died. Raphael leveraged this exact survival mechanism. He stopped making private promises and publicly declared a 90-day 5 a.m. meditation goal to everyone he knew. The sheer social pressure made giving up far more painful than just continuing. Now for Section 3, eliminating when and what. So, while public declarations stopped Raphael's mental negotiations of whether he would actually quit, his biological urge to sleep was still waging a daily internal war. This is where he implemented the monk's principle of non-negotiable hours. Deciding when to do something burns precious brain glucose that you actually need for the task itself. Raphael chose 5 a.m., not because he was a morning person, but because at 5 a.m. the world is asleep. There are no emails, no texts, 0 variables. He completely eliminated the choice of when just to save his mental fuel. But, just fixing the time wasn't quite enough.
His brain quickly found a brand new loophole, negotiating the what. Should he meditate today, read, do push-ups? Relying on a teaching from the Zen master Dogen on fixed forms, Raphael completely locked down his routine. 20 push-ups, 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of reading. Same exact order, same timer, every single day. He removed every single micro-decision so his brain couldn't find a way out.
Which leads into Section 4, Practice Without Gaps. This concept reveals a massive paradigm shift. Most of us think that consistency requires this endless reservoir of willpower. Well, it doesn't. An MIT researcher explains that when you repeat an action in the same context for about 66 days, the basal ganglia in your brain takes over. The behavior just becomes automatic. You are no longer deciding, you are simply doing. Raphael's friends started calling him robotic and annoying, but they completely missed the point. Being robotic was exactly the goal of the entire system.
If we trace Raphael's progression through his 90-day practice period, which the monks call an ango, we see day 3 was the first real test of that public pressure. By day 14, his feet were hitting the floor automatically before conscious thought even engaged. But notice days 35 and 40. He catches the flu. Then he has an incredibly hectic travel day. This right here is the real danger zone. This is where perfect conditions completely disappear and where almost everyone else throws in the towel. The thing is, the all-or-nothing mentality absolutely kills consistency. You think, well, if I can't do a perfect workout, I'll just wait until tomorrow. But Dogen wrote, practice must continue without even a moment of gap, because in that gap, all your old patterns return. Skipping a day just because you're tired or busy, that isn't strategic rest. It is a full-blown retreat. Think of it like a river. A river doesn't stop flowing in a drought, right? It might become a trickle, but it never stops. Let's look at Section 5, Pre-Solving Your Obstacles. This all builds into the ultimate defense mechanism against unexpected disruptions. Have you ever wondered how centuries-old Zen monasteries survive earthquakes, fires, and pure chaos without missing a single day of practice? It's actually pretty simple. Their responses to chaos are automatic and pre-decided. If the meditation hall floods, they go straight to the dining hall. If the dining hall catches fire, they sit in the courtyard. There are no meetings, no debates. The bell rings, and the response is just executed. Raphael took this exact method and mapped out predetermined responses to his own biggest obstacles. If it rained, he did push-ups in the garage. If he had house guests visiting, he did a silent workout in the bathroom. Even a hangover had a strict protocol. 2 push-ups, 1 minute of meditation, 1 page of reading. By having the answer pre-written, there was absolutely zero stress when things went wrong. So on day 40, stuck traveling at the airport, he just did his push-ups in the airport bathroom. Was it perfect? No. Was it consistent? Absolutely. So, the absolutely crucial point here is that pre-solving your problems protects your nervous system from stress-induced bad decisions. As a Yale University behavioral psychologist points out, pre-deciding removes decision fatigue. Your prefrontal cortex doesn't have to panic and figure out what to do in the moment. It remains perfectly intact simply to execute the plan you already made. Moving to our final part, Section 6, Becoming Unbreakable. By day 70 of Raphael's personal ango, his practice had become entirely automatic. It completely bypassed his old limitations. He would wake up and sometimes not even remember doing his push-ups. His body just moved through the sequence like a highly programmed machine. And this, right here, marks the birth of the unbreakable self. When you reach this stage, people are going to start calling your discipline scary, obsessive, or abnormal. And when you hear that, you should honestly celebrate. It proves you are finally operating at a level that makes average people deeply uncomfortable with their own lack of forward movement. Ultimately, the texts on the Goji system suggest that this isn't just about making you slightly better. It is about completely reshaping your entire identity. You stop being someone who tries to do things and you become someone who simply is. You do the work because you physically cannot do it any other way. The source material leaves us with a final, pretty provocative question. What will your public declaration be? Are you finally ready to kill the mental negotiation and pre-solve your obstacles? Because a consistency that actually scares other people, that might just be the only kind worth having.
Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.